Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Untitled Pod. My name is Jeremy Jacobowitz. I'm here with my tag team partner, Adam Welby.
Hey, yo.
This is a podcast all about the Monday Night Wars, all about the battles between WWF, Raw, and WCW Nitro. Each and every single week, we go back in time and we re-review the episodes in order. So, at the end of the day, we can find out who really should have won the Monday Night Wars. Adam, why should people listen to what we have to say, though?
Oh, man. Well, as we know, they should listen to what we have to say because on a week-to-week basis, we are reliving the Monday Night Wars in a better way than you could ever do it by watching it live. We're condensing it. We're getting you the good stuff. We're also telling you the bad stuff. But your time is too valuable, and I know that you can't actually go back and watch this all in real time. That's one reason. But another reason today is, Jeremy, we have a very, very special episode that I'm very excited about.
Yes, I'll get to that in a second. But also, we both used to work at WWE, both used to work in WWE tape library. Our jobs are to watch all of wrestling. So we've watched it all. But yes, this is a special bonus episode. We are actually not doing a normal episode today. Last week, Adam, it was the last episode of both Raw and Nitro from 1996. So we're heading into 1997, and as has become tradition on the podcast, we're going to relive this past year with something we like to call the Monday Night Poddies, where we give out awards. It's an award show.
It's an award show. It's the 1996 Monday Night Pod presents the Poddies.
Yes.
This is going to be a day to remember, as you can see if those of you are watching on YouTube. Jeremy and I have dressed up for the occasion. Those of you who are listening, let us describe a little bit. Jeremy is in a very tasteful and expensive-looking tuxedo. He did not skimp on the coattails for it. He looks like like Bugs Bunny about to play the piano in the opera. And I think it was a very classy choice of yours. You went with a bow tie, a black bow tie. I think it's lovely.
Well, I mean, I have pants on.
and you know, and I did the same. So I'm quite excited about this. I'm ready to open my Tuckin' Good lager from the Tuckaway Tavern in New Hampshire. Great. And crack into this a little bit. Jer Bear, what are you thinking?
Water. Or we're both sipping at the same time. This makes for the worst podcast.
No. I'll talk through your sip. It's okay. Because, yes, this is our second annual Poddies Award. This is great.
Yeah. We did one. Time frame is very confusing because the time frame of these episodes to real life hurts my brain to think about. But yes, we did them last year. But last year we only had a few months to work with. This is the first time we're actually looking back at a complete calendar year.
Yeah, that's true. We only had, what was it? Like
3 or 4 months, whatever. Yeah.
So I actually had to go back into my notes and look for things. So it wasn't just awards pulled out of our ass off the top of our heads. There were Google Docs involved with this, people.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how much I actually remember. Shall we get started?
I would be so thrilled to let the festivities begin.
Great. So just to let you guys know a little bit of a process. Basically, Adam put these together. I took a look and okayed it, but we didn't decide on any of the winners until now. So part of this is the discussion on who should win and who should not win. So there is no actual pick yet. So this is what we're doing.
We're doing it live.
Yeah, we're doing it live. Do you want to do the first one, Adam?
I would love to.
Right.
So the first award for the 1996 Monday Night Poddies is the holy shit moment of the year. Nominated in this category,
holy shit.
Nominated.
I hit the button.
Nominated in this category are the following: Sting lays out members of the WCW. Kevin Nash spikes Rey Mysterio into the side of a trailer. The Giant turns on Hogan and the NWO. Billy Gunn is paralyzed. Sting leaves WCW. And Scott Hall debuts in WCW. Now, keep in mind, we should have said this towards the top as we were. I know our pod heads are hip to this, but we're not talking about in the entirety of 1996, as we do in Monday Night Pod. This is within the context of the Monday Night Wars, which is why you'll find there's no nomination for the NWO forming, for Hogan is the third man. That was at Bash at the Beach. We're not including moments from We can't have Jose Lothario gets killed with a camera by Psycho Sid. That was at Survivor Series. So we are laying this out specifically in the context of what we saw on Monday Night Raw or Monday Nitro.
So here's my thought process for these. I think you have to look at the micro and the macro to pick an answer. I think you have to look at something in the moment that seemed big, but then how it looked in that moment too, and then what it potentially led to, and find the balance there. Because I think that's where you have your arguments. I think that I'll walk you through my process, and then you can make your argument. How about that?
I'm hip to it now, Jeremy. I am agreeing.
Well, let me work backwards. Billy Gunn is paralyzed. That was forgotten about anyway, so that's off the table. Giant turns on Hogan. Maybe, but since it just happened, we don't know where it's going necessarily, so we don't even know the fallout from that. But maybe we'll keep it in a maybe for now. Kevin Nash spikes Rey Mysterio. See, it's almost the flip side. Where in the moment you say "holy shit," but at the end of the day, it meant nothing.
I will disagree on that because it defines sort of the physicality that we're going to see of the NWO taking over with full force, not like whole foot on the gas. Like people are going to get fucked up by these guys. It gave them a reason to fear them, because in the following weeks we would see similar attacks happen to the Nasty Boys, the Booty Man. We'd see people get laid out and destroyed, but this was a first moment, and you needed a guy. You needed the difference between a Kevin Nash and a Rey Mysterio, just in the kind of way that bringing things to a nowadays kind of thing, where like you have Marco Stunt go up against a debuting Brody Lee or something like. Of course, that guy is going to get murdered and look amazing while he does it, and so you have Rey Mysterio get murdered and look amazing while he's doing it by Kevin Nash. But I digress.
Sting leaves WCW. I still have this feeling like nobody, knowing that he's gone for over a year, kind of really whatever, makes it a bigger impact than what it seems to be in the moment. Sting leaves out WCW members, sort of gets exactly like we just said. Sting leaves WCW, and then 3 weeks later that happens. To me, it's the choice that I added, which is Scott Hall debuts. Now I know that it was less of an impact in that episode than we thought, but it is still really the moment that the Monday Night Wars started. Like that was the moment that led to everything. And maybe that one first promo wasn't the greatest thing in the whole of all time, but you have to remember that we're like numb to that moment also, because we've seen it a bajillion times in every single video package and every single thing. I think we took away a little bit from that moment, especially watching that, of what it would eventually lead to. That's my argument. I don't know. What do you think?
I agree with you in that sense. I think you're right, because while Nash attacking Ray would define what Nitro or what NWO was going to be moving forward, the bigger thing, NWO is a big entity that exists within just WCW in the Monday Night Wars. You're right, though, that the volatility of Scott Hall going over like that meant a lot more than, I mean, we had seen somebody jump ship earlier. We'd seen Johnny B. Bad go from Raw over to or go from Nitro.
But people legitimately thought in 1986 that like Hall was invading. Like people jump back and forth all the time, but that was the first like real Monday Night Wars moment.
You're right. And for that reason, I'm comfortable awarding the 1996 Poddie for the holy shit moment of the year to Scott Hall debuting on Nitro.
There you go.
Poddie's in the mail, Scott Hall.
There it is. If you guys agree or disagree, let us know. We want to hear from you. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can comment below. That's cool. Tweet us Monday Night Pod, Facebook Monday Night Pod, Instagram Monday Night Pod. If you're on a podcast, you're listening to us and you want to say anything, if you're on Apple Podcasts, they let you write little 5-star reviews. So you can leave a little 5-star review and then you could let us know what you think. How about that? All right, I'll get the next one then. This is the 1996 participation trophy. Adam says, wrestlers we'll never see again who we kind of liked. First, now I'm going to say this, the same thing I said when we did this category last year, is that some of these people I know that we will see again, Adam, but whatever.
But there's so low impacts that they get thrown in the list. And admittedly, this list is a lot shorter this year. For whatever reason, we had a lot more shit thrown at the wall last year, I think, where they saw if it would stick, and it didn't. But
I hope that I'm going to add one in, because if we're not sure about these anyway, all right. We got Big Ron Studd. I'm pretty sure it continues on. Not as him though.
He was he was the Yeti.
Yes, he would end up doing a lot of weird gimmicks. We might not see him actually. He was on like Saturday Night and shit, so maybe. Loch Ness Monster, I'm pretty sure we actually do not see. He went back to England and retired, I believe.
Yeah.
Doug Furnace and Phil LaFon. Pretty sure these guys end up being tag team champions, so I'm positive we will see them again. I will add fake Scott Hall.
You kind of liked him, huh?
No, I didn't like him. I just never want to see him again. And that meant so much more to me that it overtook the kind of liking him.
Okay.
just an addition. I'm not saying he's a winner. I'm just saying to add to the list. I also don't know if he's not going to be on TV anymore. Just saying,
true.
you know.
That's true. We don't know if we don't know if Jim Ross's gimmick there is quite done yet. Fake Razor Ramon, that would be, not fake Scott Hall. So fake Razor Ramon, Big Ron Studd, Loch Ness Monster, and future tag team champions who should be in this category, Furnace and LaFon.
Yeah.
I would like to give this one to Loch Ness Monster because Loch Ness was so gigantic and was a relic of wrestling in the 70s and the 80s. The fact that this guy could move at all at his size was a miracle. And it was kind of like we got to see a dinosaur just trotted onto national television to get put in the torture rack and taken away. And I enjoyed it. I was happy that this guy was able to participate. So I would like to give this award to the Loch Ness Monster.
Well, considering he's the only one that really should have been eligible, yes, I agree, Adam. He's the winner.
Loch Ness Monster, I'd say your trophy's in the mail, but I think you've been dead for 26 years. So God bless. See you on the other side, brother.
All right. Next up, Adam.
Our next 1996 Monday Night Poddie is for the Announcer of the Year. Very similar nominations to last year, but in the running, we have Vince McMahon, Eric Bischoff, Bobby the Brain Heenan, Jerry the King Lawler, and Tony Schiavone. I considered adding Mike Tenay to this as well, but whatever. This is our award show. Let's give Mike Tenay some love because you know what? Why the hell not?
I think this really upset him. So yeah, that's a good call, Adam. Well, to me, if Bobby Heenan is announcing he's on a list, he's the winner.
Well, there you go. A lot of discussion here. I'm glad to see Tony Schiavone get nominated this year. I think Bischoff also gets hurt in this category a little bit by being an on-screen character more than an announcer for about half of the year. Mm-hmm. So it's away from his ability to shine there. But everyone did great jobs. Lawler is getting in and out of the ring. Vince McMahon is obviously like playing the role of three people at the same time, like he always does. Yep. This is a strong year for announcing, and I think in a big way because Mongo was out of it for a majority of the year as well. Yes. So rest in peace. Ooh, but this is a fun award we have up next. I know he's not dead. I'm just joking.
Next up, Adam. Positive surprise in retrospect of the year. First up, Mongo Kevin Green do all the cocaine and work out with Macho Man. Billionaire Ted's Wrestling War Room. Fire and Ice, that's Scott Norton and Ice Train. Kind of worked as a power tag team, better than you'd expect. The Giant defends the WCW title all the time, even if people don't exactly earn their shot. In fact, most of them are jobbers. And WCW's Halloween-themed Slim Jim commercials. It was pure madness, and it works so damn well.
Mm-hmm. It's a bunch of strong things this year. A lot of them have to do with chaos and unpredictability, other than Fire and Ice kind of working as a tag team. But I mean,
a lot of them have to do with cocaine as well.
Multiple, yeah. Macho Man is involved with 2 of them, at least. Nacho Man involved with 1 as well. So, I mean, if we're talking this one out, the pod heads will know from listening that like we have been in love with Mongo and Kevin Green doing all the cocaine with Macho Man since we saw it. It's one of the most memorable things that we've seen so far on this in this entire.
To me, it should be a moment of the year nominee as well.
Well, I think then, as much as I also would love to give it to the Slim Jim Halloween commercial, I'm going to definitely give it to Mongo and Kevin Green and Macho Man.
I agree.
There you go.
Those are the only 2 I had up there as well. So,
well, your Poddie is in the mail. Kevin Green and Mongo, and Macho will send it to Lenny Poffo. All right. Well, that being said, and I gotta get ahead of it for a second here. We're only a little bit through, and I'm looking through my notes, and I'm remembering some stuff. And I just want to say to people who think out there, because everyone knows, got a bit of an anti-WWE bias.
Who does? Who does?
Everybody knows.
No, but I'm saying you're saying the podcast does, or you do.
Oh, well,
I am not at all. So don't wrap this whole thing in me.
No,
you can
I have it. I just
want to make that clear.
But we're talking about, this is the year that Nitro pulled out ahead of Raw in a very serious kind of way. And they are going to stay ahead of them for a long time. And so you may be noticing in a lot of these nominations, there'll be like 4 in WCW and 1 in WWE. And that's what we have. I just want to say I'm aware of it.
Also, we have 2 hours of Nitro. So we have, not that it was a full year, but we could conceivably have double the amount of time of wrestling for Nitro. So they're just going to have more moments and matches and things as well.
That's true too. And so I wanted to give some fairness to that. So that being said, here are the nominations for the 1996 Poddie for Match of the Year. That's right, this big award. We're going right in the middle of the show here. We have from Raw on May 13th, 1996, Hunter Hearst Helmsley versus Shawn Michaels in a very good main event. And then on Nitro on May 20th, we have Ric Flair versus Eddie Guerrero. On June 3rd, Nitro, we have the Rock and Roll Express versus Ric Flair and Arn Anderson. On April 29th, Nitro, we have Belfast Brawler versus Lord Steven Regal in a parking lot brawl in what was just a bloodbath. And we have from November 4th, Nitro, Hector Guerrero versus Chris Benoit. These are our 5 nominees for Match of the Year. Now, I have a feeling that Jarrett is going to go with the only one he can remember. So let's talk.
2. I have 2 choices.
Okay. You tell me. What are you leaning towards?
Hunter and Shawn and Rick and Eddie.
I am going to go Rick and Eddie, I think. Hunter and Shawn had the best WWE style match that they could have on Raw in the limited time that they had. But Guerrero and Flair had a barn burner. I mean, the work rate of those 2 guys at this age and this stage of their careers and how healthy they were. Like, that was a great match. So are we willing to give it to that?
Fair enough.
Congratulations, Ric Flair and Eddie Guerrero. Rest in peace. You are the winners of the 1996 Poddie for Match of the Year. Your Poddie is in the mail. Ric Flair, please send me your personal address.
Maybe he's on Cameo. I'll go through this list at the end and see who I could pay to
accept their award.
Yeah. Next up, Adam, it is uncomfortable romantic relationship of the year.
Ooh.
First up, it is Chris Benoit and Woman. We'll say this right now. They are stricken from the record and they're not eligible. So they will not win that award, but they were nominated. Whatever.
Well, they're that uncomfortable that they're stricken from the record.
Gone.
So
Vince McMahon and Shawn Michaels.
He is very much in love with him.
Goldust and Roddy Piper. Phineas Godwin and Sonny. And Shawn Michaels and Sonny.
Strong contenders here. I understand where Shawn Michaels and Sonny being nominated on here are. However, we don't really get much of their love affair on camera. You have to be a little bit of a smart behind the scenes guy.
Maybe. Shawn made a lot of. Remember when he like shot fucking whipped cream all over her? What did he do?
Oh yeah, he did.
It was Shawn's maybe someone's birthday, and then he like put the cake and licked it off her face. It was uncomfortable.
Well, yep, that's a married woman.
No, were they married?
Skip and Sonny?
I don't know if they were married.
I thought they were. I always thought they were. I will look that up.
All right. Well, to me, it's Vince and Shawn or Shawn and Sonny.
I would go just because of how like hilarious it is. I mean, we've talked about it many times. I don't think I've ever seen a human being as in love with another human being as Vince McMahon is in love with Shawn Michaels. It is so clear, so very clear. So that is where that is where I would go with that. That it would go to Shawn and Vince, in my opinion.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Oh yeah. Sitch attended the same high school as her long-term boyfriend, Chris Candido, who would later introduce her to the professional wrestling industry. Sitch regularly managed Candido throughout his career and remained with him until his death in 2005.
Yes.
Oh wow. They were never married. Very interesting. Well, congratulations, Vince and Shawn. Do we both agree on this now?
I agree.
All right. Vince and Shawn, your potties are in the mail. We're going to send them. We would send them straight to the what's it called? What's it called? Where they do the NXTs?
The Performance Center.
The Performance Center. I believe that Vince McMahon had ever stepped foot in there.
Now the Capitol Wrestling Center, Adam.
Wonderful. Well, we got a big one next here, Jeremy, if you're ready for it.
Ready for it.
As this night's festivities continue. The 1996 Poddie for a big one, the feud of the year. I hope y'all are ready. Buckle up. We got some barn burners to talk about here. We have, first up, WCW versus NWO. Little general, but, we'll see what we do. Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. Undertaker versus Mankind. Rey Mysterio versus Dean Malenko. Psycho Sid versus Shawn Michaels. The Taskmaster Kevin Sullivan versus Chris Benoit. Or Rowdy Roddy Piper versus Hollywood Hulk Hogan. Your feud of the year 1996 nominees. Jeremy, let's discuss. Does anything out here jump out to you immediately when we read through this list?
I think that it's Undertaker and Mankind.
I was thinking it is Undertaker and Mankind as well. I thought Bret and Stone Cold was pretty close.
It bubbled under the surface for so long, though. It didn't really. There wasn't a lot of it playing out on the shows.
Yes, exactly. There's a lot of promo talk. There wasn't so much throwing hands. And Piper versus Hogan was a pretty good story, but I've shit on it a lot about how that's an old thing and that's not what we really wanted to see. WCW NWO is a little general, I think, to give that award to. So, all right. Well,
I think they had some of the best matches. I think they had some of the best storytelling, some of the best promos. It went from April to December, pretty much.
Yeah, and it didn't get boring either. Their story against each other, it didn't feel like it was ever dragging. Those two characters were just such great foils for one another that we have no problem giving Feud of the Year to Undertaker versus Mankind. And I'm pretty sure that Mick Foley's on Cameo, so let's make this happen.
I will work on it. All right, Adam, next up, it's debut of the year. Now, Adam, let me ask you this. When you thought of this category, is this the moment they debuted and we're giving an award to that moment, or it's more of like a rookie of the year conversation?
I was thinking it was more of the moment, but I definitely...
My brain went the other... All right, let me read out the things and we'll discuss. I guess we could take both into consideration here.
Yeah.
Ultimo Dragon, Glacier, Deborah, Rocky Maivia, Mankind, The Sultan, and Chris Jericho.
Well, now, what a list of Hall of Famers you have there. Yeah. You're right, though. It's very different if you look at it as a rookie of the year kind of thing, as opposed to just the individual debut. So I'm okay with going with it closer to rookie of the year kind of thing. Even though
even if we do the other one, I don't really remember the only debuts that stand out to me. A Glacier, obviously. Although Glacier's debut didn't even happen on Nitro, by the way. It happened on stupid Saturday night.
Oh, right.
After all that built up.
That's true.
He had a Nitro debut, so it could count. Just they ruined it. Mankind's now, you could go with his promo, or you could go with he debuted the Raw after WrestleMania by attacking Taker.
Yeah.
Is that his debut?
And he had like, there was the weeks of promos too that were like really cool to build up to.
Yep. Deborah just showed up one day.
I know. But the funny thing was, I was thinking about that as I was going through my notes, just kind of trying to like think of things to make fun of Mongo with when we're going to be doing this, because who doesn't love giving a little good ribbon to Mongo? And I was thinking, looking back at like the last couple months of 1996, when Deborah like really had her like sash, she like really figured out her bitchy beauty queen kind of gimmick. She was hilarious and she was really making it work. So like in that role, she was very good. But I don't think she's winning this category. No. I think
it's Mankind's.
I agree. I was going to say if we were to approach it from either individual debut and or rookie of the year kind of thing, it's got to go to Mankind.
I agree. You know where he fucked up here, Adam?
Tell me.
Do you know who else debuted this year? Who, if we're saying as like rookie of the year?
Who else debuted this year? If we're saying rookie of the year,
you're forgetting someone, Adam. God damn it!
Oh. Well, so I went back and forth with that because there was the Taskmaster. The Ringmaster. Was already around, right?
No, he debuted in January.
Well, he debuted as the Ringmaster and then became Stone Cold.
But as a package, that's still one hell of a year, Adam.
Well, we could add him as a nominee, but I still think I still think that Mankind wins this year, though.
Okay, fair. I agree.
Okay, see, I went back and forth with that because I was thinking about the Ringmaster so much, and I was like, the Ringmaster is just so soft.
What?
And like even
Ringmaster sucked.
Yeah, I knew it. But like even like I have in here, the Sultan had a badass debut, right? Like he had a sweet entrance.
Yes, he had Bob Backlund going nuts.
Yeah, he had Bob Backlund going nuts. He had Iron Sheik waving a flag for him. Like his debut was awesome. But but okay, all right. Well, Stone Cold, congratulations. You're nominated for this. I still can't find your Broken Skull IPA anywhere. God damn it. Get it more out on the East Coast if you can. But again, Mick Foley, congratulations. You get Mankind wins debut of the year.
Mick is winning so many.
Whew, guys cleaning up right now. You know what? Actually, in that case, I should be. I made a stupid thing on this next category.
Oh, I just assumed he was there. I didn't even look.
Yeah, no, that was a huge oversight on my part, because next up we have the nominees for the 1996 Theme Song of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, I will leave some time in between this just in case Jeremy wants to put in a little bit of their music in post, but that sounds like it works.
I do not want to do that. I'll put the winning song in.
A couple of these are repeats from last year, obviously, because we have Shawn Michaels repeating from last year, The Undertaker repeating from last year, The Four Horsemen, who I don't believe were nominated last year and should have been, but we have With My Baby Tonight. We have Break the Walls Down by Chris Jericho.
No, not goddamn Break the Walls Down. His first WCW one. I love that one.
Yeah. That one is pretty sweet. Although he did have the Break the Walls Down that one time.
He did have the Break the Walls Down. That does not count.
And in possibly sweeping up these awards today, Mankind.
I'm going to add one more thing, Adam, that we forgot. The NWO should also be nominated.
What happens when you have a live thing? Now, I'm not as into having Shawn, Taker, or Horseman win this one just because they've been around with their themes.
Mm-hmm.
With My Baby Tonight is fun to hate on, so I laugh at it a little bit, but I thought it deserved to be nominated nonetheless for being memorable. I think this one is between our two last-minute additions of Mankind and the New World Order.
We also have another one we could have nominated.
Well, let's nominate him. Who cares? We're doing it live.
You forgot about me again, god damn it. Stone Cold only debuted Glass Shatters.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So the two of the most iconic theme songs ever, Austin and NWO, both debuted in 1996.
I did a terrible job with this list.
I'll say that, but I think that just the impact of NWO was much bigger than Austin in 1996.
Yeah.
So my vote is for NWO.
Well, we're also going to have a couple different versions of the Stone Cold Glass Shatters. Like right now we have the earliest version, which is by far the worst one, right? Like it gets harder, it gets faster, it gets like more bite. Obviously the version by Disturbed eventually comes around. That's amazing. So I would, just in how iconic it is, I am very much down to give this award to the NWO.
Fair.
Wow, we gotta make a lot of trophies to send out to the NWO. Like, holy crap! Congratulations to Vincent. I guess we'll be getting one. And
he's definitely on Cameo. I could get him. It's probably like $20.
Wait, can you get Masahiro Kono or Chono or?
I say no more WWE guys. I think Vince made them all leave the platform, so I think it's going to have to be all former wrestlers.
That's right.
Next up, failure of the year. We have a bajillion nominees. I don't know why this
failure of the year. This is one of my favorite categories.
The Raw Bowl. Oy. Scott Hall debuts the Crickets. You know who I am. ECW members show up to Raw, but the cameras never show them. Fake Diesel and Fake Razor, The Stalker, Mongo and the Four Horsemen, Farouk Assad's Gear, Savio Vega and Stone Cold's Never-Ending Feud, Ed Begley Jr. riding his bike on Raw for some reason. Oh, I forgot about that. That's a good one. The Lethal Lottery drawings. I don't remember that at all.
Exactly. That was when they were gonna figure out who was gonna be the new #1 contender or something, and Mean Gene had the balls in the thing and did it live on the ramp, and it just took forever. It was terrible.
Piper's I'm Your Man music video. Oh, that is moment of the year for me. I don't know. Warrior University is a thing, and it's being advertised on Raw. Shawn Michaels poses in Playgirl and The Executioner. So,
wow, what a list! What a fantastic fraternity you have here of great failures throughout the year.
To me, I think that it's Mongo.
Mongo and the Four Horsemen.
I just think that it's so much of a big. Some of these are throwaway moments where, yeah, all right. So it's like Ed Begley Jr. Like it was a commercial for Ed Begley Jr.'s night show that was going to be on USA. Like in the scheme of things, who cares? Mongo is in one of the greatest factions of all time.
That is very true. I guess with this category, you have
and some of these I think are a positive.
Oh yeah, like what? Talk to me.
Piper's "I'm Your Man" music video.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, I think for this, for it to truly be a great failure, it has to be something that is striving for incredible heights. So that being said, the Executioner, as huge of a failure as that was not meant to be some giant, super over, main event player for years to come. I went back and I watched the Armageddon match, and Mankind worked half of it. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Shawn Michaels in Playgirl is pretty funny to me. I think that is any other year. I think maybe that could have won it.
Mm-hmm.
And Farouk Assad's gear.
Ooh, yeah, that's up there. That's up there for sure.
Yeah, you have Ron Simmons. I mean, the first Black World Heavyweight Champion in professional wrestling. Just a guy who should have been to the top immediately. Fantastic athlete, fantastic worker, fantastic promo, and they just made him look like an idiot right out the gates.
Yeah, that could take it too. For sure.
Yeah, these are all super strong. And God, how much did they build up to the Raw Bowl? How many weeks did we hear them talk about Raw?
I feel like it was just 1 week.
I feel like it was 3, at least. But I will agree with you in that you have arguably the greatest faction of all time in the Four Horsemen. And like as much as his legacy is gone in the moment, and rightfully so. But in the moment, you have Chris Benoit as a horseman, and then Mongo. So I think I can agree with you that failure of the year. Mongo, you're taking home another Poddie. Congratulations.
Out of here.
For what it's worth, both this year and last year, Mongo is cleaning up, bringing home Poddies.
He could be the first inductee into our Hall of Fame.
Oh man, first bout. That's the headline right there. The Paul of Fame, Poddle. We'll work on the title. Next, we're bringing back another award from last year. It wasn't as prevalent this year, but I thought it was nonetheless deserved. So here we go. It is the Merch Hawker of the Year. Only 3 nominees this year. We have Doc Hendricks, Todd Pettengill, and The Outsiders. I considered nominating the entire NWO for this one, but I feel like the commercials with 6 are less strong. And the ones with the Giant are good too, but primarily it's the Outsiders who are driving this. So I thought they should be the ones, selling the NWO t-shirt every week.
I agree. And to me, they are the winners as well.
Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, congratulations. Your Poddie is in the mail. We're very happy to award you.
Scott Hall has a few of them to this year.
Yeah. Hall's having a good year. Good 1996 treated him well.
Made that money. Next up.
And then Poddies.
Merch of the year. We have the NWO t-shirt, Karate Fighters, the WrestleMania plaque with a piece of the canvas. To me, it's the NWO shirt.
Again, a year that, as much as 1995, we had gear getting hawked at us all the time. They chilled out a little bit on that this year. There was less hawking, denim jackets.
And WCW never really had stuff to sell. So
yeah, except the one thing they had to sell was that NWO shirt, and that NWO shirt is so iconic that people still wear it today. So
it's still one of the top selling things in WWE shop, which is crazy.
I have a tank top that has the NWO on it. Like, hell yeah. So
don't.
So very much so. NWO t-shirt, congratulations. I'm not sure how we send a Poddie to a t-shirt, but we'll figure this one out.
We'll send it to NWO Sting, who I think is still in Japan doing shit.
There we go.
All right, next category. Yeah.
Next up, we have the 1996 Poddie for the Tag Team of the Year. Nominated in this category are the Harlem Heat. Once again, nominated. They were nominated last year as well. Good on them. The Outsiders, the Steiner Brothers, Owen and Bulldog, Ric Flair and Arn Anderson, Luger and Sting, and the Body Donnas. Jared, what are you thinking here?
Thinking Harlem Heat or Luger and Sting.
Interesting. Agreed. Because my first instinct is to go with the Outsiders. But in the context of the Monday Night Wars, I think we've only seen them in one match.
Right. They like barely wrestle.
Yeah. Right. They're around and they jump people occasionally, but
and they're the champions for a lot of the time. But yeah.
So we saw them face what? The Faces of Fear or something like that, I think, once.
Probably. Yeah.
So between Harlem Heat and Luger and Sting, I would go with Luger and Sting because they have the most interesting story going on all the time. And their story is still continuing even when they're not together.
I agree. And I think that's some great matches.
Definitely.
Great.
I should have probably nominated a couple of their matches actually going through. So wonderful. Well, Jeremy, before we get to our most prestigious title, the 1996 Poddie for the Wrestler of the Year, I think we have a couple of honorable mentions here to discuss.
Okay.
Do you mind if I take this and then you can take
Please.
Wrestler of the Year?
Please. Go ahead.
First and foremost, our favorite honorable mention is our friend of the podcast. And even though he was not on camera during the Monday Night Wars, his father was. Friend of the podcast is Austin Gunn. Austin
sort of was.
Well, he was mentioned.
He was supposed to be in the stands. He wasn't. But in kayfabe, he was in the stands. So
kayfabe the gimmick, brother. Austin, you're our friend of the podcast of the year. Thank you for 1996. This is a technical award. It's for the director of the year, honorable mention. And it goes to the Giant for when he took over as the director on Hulk Hogan's movie film set for a day.
Yes.
And apparently directed a movie.
Well, I believe it was Three Ninjas Strike Back.
Yes,
something like that.
Why it was so much better than the first Three Ninjas at the Giant. And our last honorable mention is for the Fossil of the Year in 1996. Funny that they're the Fossil of the Year in 1996 because they're still wrestling today. I believe as we record this, one of them wrestled last night on Fight TV. The Rock and Roll Express. They had a couple of great matches this year, and then they had some odd singles matches. And like, remember Robert Gibson teamed up with not Scotty Riggs. Yeah, Scotty Riggs once. That was weird.
Oh yeah. Oh well, man, you know what moment we forgot? One of my favorite moments of all time.
Tell me.
When the White Meat Baby Faces of WCW did that like beach promo.
Oh.
It was like Alex Wright, Scotty Riggs.
Oh yeah, Joe Gomez and
honorable mention. I don't know what category I'd give it to, but they win a Poddie also.
I think they get backwards nominated into positive surprise in retrospect or something like that.
Sure.
Guessing. All right, Jeremy, if you'd like to take it away, we have the biggest nomination we can have.
Yes, the final award of tonight is, of course, the Wrestler of the Year. Lots of people to choose from and lots of nominees. So, Macho Man Randy Savage, Lex Luger, Ric Flair, Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, Chris Benoit, The Giant, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Mankind, DDP, Lord Steven Regal, and I just added Shawn Michaels.
Whoops. Shawn only wrestled like 4 times this year. I swear to God.
I don't know.
Going back through my notes, man. I went through my notes of the whole year to put these lists together, which makes it a little more embarrassing about me forgetting the Stone Cold stuff. But nonetheless, I go through, and I'm telling you, they're like Shawn Michaels wrestled on definitely less than 10 Raws this year. I will guarantee that.
Okay, fair.
However, let's talk
to me. I think we had this fight last year, but to me, it is a superstar of the year category, and he was on every show. I think you take both into account.
So in that case, if it's superstar of the year, you're putting it. It's a WWF person.
Everybody's called a superstar, Adam. Even WCW uses that moniker.
Right. You're a superstar. I'm a superstar. We're all superstars. Whatever.
I just think that, like, in terms of the context of the show, I'm not saying Shawn should win. I'm just saying that I think he deservedly should be nominated. In that case, too, then Hulk Hogan. I know he never wrestled, and that's probably why he didn't put him on the list. But he is champion for most of the year and dominates every show. That's true.
Again, though, I'm putting this in the context of the Monday Night Wars, right? So if it didn't happen,
the shows were still built around him.
But you're right. So, all right, I'm okay with that. We will change it to Superstar of the Year. Next year, we can have Deborah nominated if we want.
Yeah, of course. Anyone can be nominated for Superstar of the Year.
That's right. So Shawn Michaels and Hulk Hogan added to that list. Once more, right. We have the Macho Man Randy Savage, Lex Luger, Ric Flair, Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, Chris Benoit, The Giant, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Mankind, DDP, Lord Steven Regal, Shawn Michaels, and Hulk Hogan. And I want to remind you, Lord Steven Regal gets nominated on this one because as I was going through my notes, if you look back in early 1996, when he was like TV champion and stuff like that, he was putting on some real freaking matches here.
He wrestled a lot.
Yeah, he wrestled a match that was entirely the hard cam all the way zoomed out. Remember?
Yes. Benoit stricken from the record. He doesn't get to be part of it. I kind of want to say it's Hulk Hogan.
I don't mean to dismiss that notion. I understand where you'd go from there.
I think that the wrestling in 1996 was Hulk Hogan.
The impact too of like him in the NWO and everything like that. That is a good point, because what I'm leaning towards I'm also leaning towards the Giant and Ric Flair.
Ric Flair, I can understand more. The Giants, when he was champion, he seemed to do a lot, but once he went in the NWO, he seemed to do nothing.
Well, he stole the U.S. title belt
from Ric Flair. Yes.
Right. He definitely cooled off a lot during those months when he wasn't champion. This is a difficult one. I wish the pod heads could chime in here and help us make the correct decision.
We can. We can do that and announce the winner next week. That's what WWE NXT has taught me.
I understand where you're coming from, but I don't want to lose in the ratings, so I'm not. What we're going to
called building, and it's called storytelling, Adam. You build on top of these episodes. You know what I mean? Tease for the next week.
That's right. Hey, man. That's what you got to do. That's what gets it. It's more than a week. But you know what? Since it's more than a week, and we're talking about changing the landscape of professional wrestling, I think you're right. It's got to go to Hulk Hogan.
There it is. Man. I love that most of our winners weren't officially nominated. This is why we talk it out.
Jeremy, a couple of them, darn it.
Well, that's the fun part. I think, talking these things out is the joy of this. I don't think anyone really cares who the winner is. It's the discussion that is, compelling.
Well, you know who cares who the winner is? The winners, because congratulations to all of you. You worked your asses off in 1996, and now you're going home with some fresh potties. You should be proud. You should be riding your high horse right now. Mongo, goodness gracious, you just keep coming back. We thought we were done giving you awards last year, and you just are not going to let this podcast go quietly into the night without you. God, I can't wait to see what 1997 has to bring. Oh, man, he's going to get
of
more in the ring.
Mongo. He's going to get in the ring. Yeah, we're going to see a lot
boy.
more of him in the ring.
Oh, boy.
But yeah, I mean, guys, we would love to know what you thought about our winners. Do you have any other selections? Were we right? Were we wrong? All those things. You could tweet at us Monday Night Pod. You could Facebook at us Monday Night Pod. That's not how it works, but you could do that. You can email us at info@mondaynightpod.com. If you're watching on YouTube, you can comment below and let us know all your thoughts on our selections. Instagram Monday Night Pod. You've listened to podcasts. Remember to subscribe and follow. Leave a 5-star review. You can tell us there, it's there too. Also, if you're on YouTube, I guess hit the follow button and like button and the share button. Just like hit every button you see. Not the down. Hit the thumbs up.
Yeah. Not the down. The up. That's, although isn't engagement? I don't know.
Yeah, my most viewed video of all time actually has a shit ton of downvotes. So.
Is that your interview with Goldberg?
No, it is a smoked watermelon ham. People hated it.
Lovely.
They hate watching it. So.
Well, I'll never hate watch you, Jeremy.
Thank you. Any final thoughts on 1996 as a whole, Adam, since we're wrapping up and we begin 1997 in our next episode?
Gosh. It was just a fun year. It's so interesting to see things, especially because, as we've talked about many times, we're in this incredible era that gets to be retold by WWE in their documentaries that they like to put on the network and everything like that, where it's so different than other than the way they describe it. This is the year that we got to live through the summer of burying Hunter, even though he got buried for like 2 weeks.
It barely happens.
Yeah, it barely happened. And then he was burying Mark Merrow and being managed by Mr. Perfect. Like, come on.
For a week. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man, that could have been, shit. I should have had that as a failure of the year, as Mr. Perfect's managing career. But nonetheless, what a beautiful time. And that would have never beat out Mongo and the Horsemen anyway. So what a beautiful list of nominees. I'm so proud of everybody. I'm so proud of us. I'm so proud of the Monday Night Pod community, our podheads engaging, sharing the show with a friend. And my gosh, we've been going this long. Who would have thought when this started out that we'd be more than a year into this? It's really remarkable, and I hope y'all are enjoying it as much as we are.
Great way to end it, Adam.